We've come all the way to Germany to see how GORE-TEX products are tested. I'm here at GORE-TEX Labs in Bavaria to meet Rodrigo and his team of testers. Thank you for having me. Can you tell me what you do here and what the facility does as a whole?
Yeah, of course. So I'm responsible for the labs here in Feldkirchen. We have basically two labs. One is the footwear lab for finished footwear, and that's quality control. The other one has to do with R&D of new GORE-TEX materials. So we develop new laminates for garments, and we do that in a lab like the one we have here.
Okay, is that where we're going now?
That's right, yeah. So this is our R&D lab, where we're developing new GORE-TEX materials. I think we can just go through a couple of tests, see how they work, and maybe we can learn a bit about that.
Sounds good.
We can probably start here. This is the suitor test. It's how we measure hydrostatic head. What we're going to do here is put in a sample, like the one that we have here, right? So we have a face fabric and a backer. I'll just put it in like this with the face on top. I can clamp it down. What I can do is put water in this column and pressurize it and try to force it to go through the sample.
Okay.
And we can see if anything goes through or not. And if nothing goes through, it means we're completely waterproof.
Yeah.
So you can see there's quite a bit of pressure on it now.
How does the pressure equate to the hydrostatic head?
I now have 1 bar of pressure. That is a hydrostatic head of almost 10 meters. Our materials can go higher. They can go a lot higher. But I just can't go higher here because that's how far my manometer here goes. But you can see that's quite a bit of pressure on that. For us, it's very important that the laminates are waterproof, not only when they're new, but also when you've been using that garment for a long time. And we do that by simulating aging with machines like the crumble flexor. What we can achieve here is to have creases appear in the material and always in the same place. And we can rapidly age the material by having those creases happen over and over again very rapidly. And what we'll do here is have this run for 4 hours or 8 hours and take the samples out, test them in the suitor test to make sure that they're still completely waterproof. Then they go back in here and then they go in for another cycle. We can repeat that until the materials fail. And you can see we have one piston going up and down, the other one's rotating. That's how we form a lot of creases everywhere, right?
Yeah.
And it really is quite quick. A lot quicker than I expect someone to run with.
Yeah.
We don't like this machine very much when we have to use it ourselves because it's quite loud.
Yeah.
But I mean, it is very useful for
8 hours of it.
Yeah, and day in, day out.
So what's this test?
So spray testing is a very simple test, but it's important for us to understand the performance of our durable water repellent.
Okay.
Or as we call it, DWR. The purpose of the DWR is to enhance comfort and to enhance breathability. And that's because if there's water on the outside, it'll appear cold on the inside, right? I add some water here. You can see how water really is just beading off.
Very satisfying.
Oh yeah. This is a martindale abrasion test machine. And here we're testing really the abrasion resistance of our materials.
Okay.
The way this works is that we have a weight here and we're pushing down on our laminate here. And we have here a piece of wool that is really rubbing against the sample in all directions. This way we can very quickly see if we have any kind of holes that are forming, if there's pilling forming on the surface, and that's useful for us to compare different materials to each other. One thing that we do also in particular for EPE Pro laminates is we've introduced a ball plate. And that's basically a plate that we have underneath here. That means that the surface area that we're pushing against is very, very small. And that way we can increase the pressure a lot. So a lot more pressure on that sample as it's being rubbed against it. It's important for us to know how that behaves because we expect that these materials are going to be used in the most demanding settings. So what we have here is a tensile test machine. And what we're doing is clamping a sample in here and just pulling on it. And we're measuring how much force we need to achieve different kinds of outcomes. Maybe we're interested in the elasticity, so we want to see how much it can stretch. Maybe we want to see when it breaks, right? And then we're just pulling on it until it rips. We can just see how much force this thing can withstand. So you can see it's starting already to stretch out the material.
What are you when are you expecting it to break?
Oh, you're going to see it very soon.
Oh.
There you go. To be clear, if you have a tear like this, you don't care about your jacket anymore, you care about your arm. Because But it's important for us to know, from a manufacturing point of view, to know where those limits are, because we want to make sure that those limits are still very far away from anything you can encounter during your normal use, but also during the manufacturing process. That's really what all of this is about. Just understanding very well how they perform, and then how that translates to that end use, to how you're going to use that when you're out in the field.
Thank you so much for showing me all this, Rodrigo. I had no idea what goes into all the product testing. Where are we going next?
Well, we've seen how we test GORE-TEX materials. Now we can see how we test actual finished garments.
Okay.
So let's do the rain hour.
Okay. So Rodrigo, I'm in the rain tower. I'm dressed head to toe in GORE-TEX Pro. Does that mean I'm going to be the test subject?
Well, we normally use mannequins, but you happen to be just the right size, so I might as well use it.
Okay, what happens in here then?
So in the lab, we've seen how we test our GORE-TEX materials, right? We know they're waterproof, we know they're breathable, we know they're durable. What's going on here is to see how they combine to form a finished garment, and to make sure that finished garment is also completely waterproof as well. We're gonna have water coming from the top, right? And we have 6 meters here. And that's enough distance for water to achieve terminal velocity. It's gonna fall with the same speed as real rain. And we're gonna simulate conditions like you would have in actual rain, and also as you would have in a storm in a mountain. You'll see that also in action. And we're gonna make sure that everything you're wearing is completely dry still after being in here for an hour of storm conditions. Okay. Am I going to be in here for an hour? If you want. Want to see it in action? Yeah. Let's go. You can stay where you are. Okay. 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, it feels like home. Yeah.
Let's go for the storm conditions.
Maybe this is more like home.
It's still dry.
I think so. I think after doing something like this, you're going to know if there's a problem. Look at the feeding on the jacket.
Exactly.
That's so satisfying, isn't it?
So how was it?
It was a bit damp. I'm still dry, which is pretty amazing, because that rain was intense.
Well, I have one last thing for you to try.
Okay. Oh God. Honestly, it feels like just being on top of a Monroe in winter. After surviving the rain chamber, I went to the footwear lab to meet Stefan. So I'm in the footwear lab with Stefan, and he's going to show me some tests. Should we go?
Yeah. So welcome here in our lab. Here we test the finished shoes, if the shoe are really waterproof and breathable. And we do this waterproof test with 2 different tests. On one hand, a walking simulator, and on the other one, a centrifuge test.
Okay, so what does the centrifuge test do?
The centrifuge test is a test where we can find out if the shoe construction is really waterproof.
Okay.
Important is this test because every shoe factory which produce GORE-TEX shoes must have a centrifuge in his facilities.
Okay.
And they must test a special amount of shoes every day from the mass production.
Okay, so it's random tests?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, how does it work?
It's work that we fill water inside the shoe. We bring it then in the centrifuge, and with help of the centrifuge power, we create a water pressure against the GORE-TEX membrane system. And then you can see if the shoe is waterproof, yes or no. Wow. The machine runs with 250 rounds per minute, so that we have really a high pressure from the water against that membrane, and then we see if we have, and it is not allowed that water come outside.
Okay, how long does the test last?
The test runs half an hour. In general, we do always both waterproof tests, centrifuge and wet flex.
So tell me a bit about the next test.
So the next test is a walking simulator test. So it's here on the centrifuge, this is for the shoe, a static test.
Okay.
Here the walking simulator is a dynamic test, so that the shoes stand really in water and must really walk. So that we can see if anything is wrong, we need something what can be detecting inside the shoe. And this is why we have an artificial foot which is flexible and have many water sensors on it. And now I prepare it for you, and then you see the artificial foot is then inside the shoe. Close it like that you wear it.
This is my shoe, so hopefully it doesn't leak.
So, and now we bring that in this walking simulator. Here you see on the screen this artificial foot with this green points. This is always one of these sensors inside. So when the shoe is leaking, one of the green points will be red, the counter stop and the shoe go out.
Hopefully not.
So, hopefully not. And that started. Here we have 5,000 steps per hour.
Wow.
So I would say this is not, it's a moderate walking, I would say. It takes now 10 hours in this walking simulator, and hopefully without leakages. The shoe is then in that position. Then we bring out the shoe and we can check on the paper if anything is wet or not.
Perfect then.
This is then a pass.
So I can keep wearing my shoes.
Yeah. And hopefully you're satisfied with that.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having us, Rodrigo. It's been amazing to see what goes on behind the scenes.
Oh, my pleasure. It's been lovely having you.
Thank you, and I'm glad I survived the rain room.
Oh, just about.
If you want to check out our full range of GORE-TEX products, you can shop in-store or online now.